Hey, it's Josh Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And here we are again with the reasons to buy or to pass, this time on the Sony Xperia Z1. When we talk about the reasons to buy, we start off with the design. The Sony Xperia Z1 happens to have a design that really only Sony puts out, and you can't really find it anywhere else in the Android space. Glass on glass with a metal frame here, or plastic on the Z1S, really make for a very premium device, premium feeling device that is actually very sturdy. Our drop test showed that even after a few drops, this phone still looked exactly the way it did out of the box. And of course, when it comes to the power in the device, we have the squarely top tier type of processing package here with the Snapdragon 800. Basically enough power to tackle basically anything that you can throw at it. And of course, we have to talk about the camera. This is the G lens. That is the 20.7 megapixel shooter that is found in the Z1 and Z1S. It is basically one of the most powerful cameras in the Android space, especially when you consider it's in a slim body. You can get very good quality shots, especially for your general users out there, and they are enhanced by the small add-ons that add to your creativity. Software is another reason why we give a good reason to the Xperia Z1 to buy, because its UI is a very minimalistic one at best, and it provides a pretty stock-like experience. It's very familiar to those of you who may have used an original Android build. The small apps and the Sony apps like the Walkman also further enhance the experience. And of course, all of this comes in a body that is water and dust proof, thus making this a phone that can withstand the elements. And you can, if you want to, take it into the shower with you, as a lot of people keep saying, or even better, use this phone underwater to take some underwater photos. When we talk about the reasons to pass on the Sony Xperia Z1, we do have to start with the display. Now, it's a 5-inch display that does provide a very vivid Sony TV-like experience, but unfortunately it does suffer from very poor viewing angles. When you have the phone at an angle, yes, some people say it doesn't really matter as much to them, but when we see that the image quality detracts at an angle, it just makes us go, oh. The other reason for the display is that the bezels, especially at the top and bottom, are larger than we would like, and that ultimately leads to a passing reason for design. The bezels eventually make for a larger device in general, and compared to a lot of other 5-inch screen devices out there, this one is definitely larger than many of those, which may be a turnoff for some people. Going a little bit deeper in, we find software, and the simplicity that it has might work very well, but it doesn't come with the bevy of features that other interfaces may come with. It might be too simplistic for some. And then we move on to the camera. Now, yes, the camera is very good in the Android space, but it could be argued that in the general mobile space, there are some better ones out there. And the Z1, unfortunately, we can point to the fact that it doesn't process dark colors very well. Primarily, when you look at low light shots, you will find that the noise levels are really kind of through the roof. But once you look at other pictures, like even bright ones that have dark spots in them, when you look closely at those spots, those of you who kind of prefer a more pro-like experience with your cameras will find that that smudginess in the noise level is just a real big turnoff. And finally, we make it back to the hardware again. Now, while it is water and dust proof, unfortunately the bits inside aren't necessarily stellar for it to protect. For example, the speaker is just really not all that great, and as far as battery life, it is just an average performer at best, giving you maybe a day or a day and a half, depending on how much you don't use your phone. So as always, thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this look at the reasons to buy or pass on the Xperia Z1 or Z1S. Remember, we have a lot of coverage of the Xperia Z1 here at the Android Authority channel, so you can check them out if you need more information on what has been Sony's flagship phone. So keep it tuned to Android Authority for all of the best coverage, including reviews and videos like this, and also the coverage from my guys Joe, Jace, and Kevin, the Tech Ninja. Drop us likes on our videos and subscribe if you haven't already, because Android Authority is your source for all things Android.